Welcome, all of you, to my channel. I hope you have fun when you learn English. The Little Match Girl. It was a cold and snowy night. It was the last evening of the year. The streets were covered with white snow, and the wind was strong and freezing. People walked fast through the city, wearing warm coats, gloves, and boots. Everyone wanted to be inside, near a fire, with food and family. But one little girl was not inside. She was outside, walking slowly in the cold. She had no hat, no gloves, and no shoes. Her feet were red and frozen. Her clothes were old and too thin for the winter. In her hand she carried a bundle of small matchsticks. She was trying to sell the matches. Matches! "Would anyone like to buy some matches?" she said, her voice soft and weak. But people didn't stop. Some looked at her sadly. Others didn't notice her at all. They were busy, thinking about their own lives. Nobody wanted to stop in the cold. The little girl had been out all day. She had not sold a single match. Now it was dark. Lights were shining in windows. People were laughing inside warm homes. She could smell delicious food, but she had no money, no home, and no love. She was afraid to go home. Her father was a strict man. If she went home without money, he might be angry. Their home was cold and poor. There was no fire, no food, and no kindness waiting for her there. So she found a small corner between two buildings. She sat down on the ground, trying to stay warm. Snowflakes fell on her hair. Her fingers were turning blue. She was so cold, so tired, and so hungry. She looked at her matches. "Maybe if I light just one," she thought, "I can feel a little warmth." She lit the first match. Suddenly a warm light appeared. In the glow, she saw a beautiful stove. It was hot and bright. She stretched out her hands to warm them. It felt so real. But after a moment, the match burned out. The stove disappeared. She was cold again. She lit another match. This time she saw a room with a big table. On the table were hot food, roast goose, fresh bread, sweet cake, and fruit. The smells made her mouth water. She reached out, but then the match went out. The table and the food disappeared into the night. She lit a third match. Now she saw a tall Christmas tree. It was full of candles, decorations, and sparkling lights. It was more beautiful than anything she had ever seen. She looked up in wonder. But again, the match burned out, and everything vanished into the darkness. She lit a fourth match quickly. This time, she saw her grandmother. Her grandmother had died a long time ago, but now she stood there, smiling, kind and gentle, just like the little girl remembered. The girl loved her grandmother more than anyone in the world. "Grandmother!" the girl cried. "Then please take me with you. Don't leave me alone again." She lit another match, and another, trying to keep her grandmother near. Then something magical happened. The light from the matches grew stronger. Her grandmother reached out and took the girl's hands. Gently she lifted the girl in her arms. Together they floated into the sky, above the cold, above the snow, into the stars. They were going to a place where there was no pain, no cold, no hunger. A place full of light, warmth, and love. The next morning, the sun rose. The city woke up. People walked down the street. In the corner between the buildings, they saw the little girl. She sat quietly, leaning against the wall. Her face was pale but peaceful. In her hands were the burned-out matches. People said, "Oh, what a sad thing. She died of the cold." But no one knew what she had seen. No one knew that before she died, she had seen warmth, food, joy, and love. No one knew that she had gone to a better place, a place where she would never be cold or alone again. She was happy when she left the world. And that is the story of the little match girl.